In our last session, we read a letter from a woman who asked for help with her husband, Gene, who demonstrated frequent road rage when she was a passenger in the car he was driving. I described the power he got from that behavior and suggested that she see him as drowning rather than as a monster. I further suggested that she actually listen to him. Now, back to the writer of the letter. You might also sit down with him on an occasion when you're not about to go out on the road and say something like the following. Quote, Gene, I love you, and because I do, I would prefer to see you happy, but I'm not in charge of that or trying to control you. When you're driving, it's obvious that you're not happy, and if there's something I could do to help you with that, I'd like to offer. I used to try to control your anger when you got angry, but I realized that that was stupid. And I think I've quit doing that. Recently, I've tried to just listen to you, and that has been more pleasant for me, but I noticed that you're still angry. What I want to discuss is what you want. If you want to stay angry while you're driving, that's your choice. If you'd like to try some things to change the way you feel while you're driving, I could offer some different options. What would you like? End quote. If he is then willing to hear what you have to offer, there are many things you could suggest. You could suggest that the moment he begins to show signs of agitation, you could lean over and put your hand on his shoulder and ask him how he's doing. That's one thing. Or you could keep a list of subjects for discussion in the car, political, family, real love, whatever, just to bring up on such occasions. You could talk about those instead of what the stupid drivers are doing. You could keep a book in the car all the time for reading, so that instead of his focusing on everybody's faults, you could be reading to him. There are lots of things you could think of to do. The idea here is not to control him, because you're bringing this up and discussing together something he wants to do so that he's not angry and ruining his own happiness. Being angry is just plain stupid because it makes happiness impossible. And you're doing this because you care about him. You're trying to help him not throw his happiness out the window every time he drives. If we have any understanding at all of the purpose of life, we have to eliminate anything in our lives that interferes with love and joy. If we don't, we're allowing ourselves to die. It's really that simple. Now, what if he decides that he does not want to hear what you have to offer in the way of helping him to avoid road rage? What if he says that he just wants to keep raging away? As it is, you feel stuck with him in the car, but you're not. When he's angry, frankly, he's dangerous, just as though he were drunk, and you do not have to stay in the car with him, nor do you have to be with someone who drags down your happiness like that. You always have a choice, and in our next session, we'll talk about some of the choices that you have.